Hey YouTubers, mlay Tech here, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the iPad Air 32GB White from Apple. I picked this up, traded my iPad mini Retina display, thought that the bigger display would be a little easier to take notes on and use in general. Alright, hope you enjoy. So taking a look at the sides, we have the volume rockers, and to the left of that we have the vibrate switch. On the bottom we have the lightning connector and the stereo speakers, which are much better than the previous generation iPad. On the right side, all we have is a clean bezel. We don't have any buttons or anything on there. On the top we have the microphone jack, 3.5mm. On the top we have the two microphones, which is new to the iPad Air. And then on the other side we have the power button and the new 5-megapixel camera, which takes pretty nice video and photo. Watch this. Here we are just testing out the front-facing camera on the iPad Air. It's about 1.2 megapixels. Alright, so here we are taking a look at the back-facing camera. We can see some of our vibrant colors, and let's try out the zooming options on our iPad Air. We can see how, it zooms in, but the quality still stays almost the same. Now let's take a closer look at the low light capabilities of this iPad. Here it is really dark, but the iPad still manages to give it a little bit of light. Now what we have all been waiting for is the iPad itself. We can see that it's really snappy, and now let's just give you a closer look of the Retina display, which you won't be able to really pick up on your device unless it has a Retina display. But let me tell you, and trust me, the display on this thing is amazing. Here we can see the chamfered edges, which the new iPad Air has. It took this from the iPad mini. The previous version of the iPad did not have it, but I'm glad that they added it into it. The camera is really good, as I showed you guys earlier. Takes really snappy photos. And now let's take some speed tests about this iPad. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard that this iPad is really fast, and it is on a day-to-day basis. When I'm using it, the speed of this is just incredible, and I'm sure you won't really realize too much of a difference of the iPad Air and the iPad 4th generation. But let me tell you, from my experience, this is actually my first iPad since the iPad 2. And my experience has been wonderful with this. Here you guys can have a closer look at some of the games on the iPad Air and the graphics. Now let me just read you what it says on the Apple website about the A7 chip and the 64-bit architecture. So here we go. The powerful and power-efficient A7 chip with 64-bit architecture makes everything remarkably responsive while still delivering up to 10 hours of battery life. Now when it comes to battery life on this thing, I've been using it, and for one day I come home with about 30% battery. That's about 7 p.m. It's not that great, but it will last you the day, and if you're taking notes most of the day, you're good to go. Don't worry about the battery life. Now let's take a look at an app that actually uses the 64-bit architecture. This is Infinity Blade 3, and I think it's one of the only apps that uses it. But later in the future, many apps will use it, and it will be used on the iPad Air and the iPhone 5S, as well as the iPad mini Retina. We can see that the graphics are just amazing. There's no lag whatsoever when I was playing the game. Absolutely no lag. This is just a preview clip which demonstrates a lot of the graphics, so I wanted to show this to you guys. Now let's take a little bit of a closer look at iOS 7 on this iPad Air. So first let's take a look at Mail. Snappy, no problems working with the iPad Air. Now when it comes to photos, it has this new feature where you can, easily look at all your photos, and you could see your collection of photos and your yearly collection of photos, and you could take a preview of your photos just like that. Now when it comes to Pages, which is a really good note-taking app, you can organize your notes easily in different folders, different subjects, and also a really cool notability app. It's an easy note-taking app. On the left it tells you all of your subjects, and if you click on one of them you can see, you can even record on the right, and you can draw. So let's say it's science and you need to draw a formula, you can do so in math. You can add different graphs and stuff like that, and you can use a stylus to do this. There are different things that you can play around with this. Now when it comes to internet browsing, of course it's an iPad, you do a lot of that on an iPad, so therefore they made it really easy. And if you search images, you could just click on one and right away it pops up. It's very similar to most devices. And the 5-finger gesture, I've been using this one a lot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time it works, just when I had to be filming this video it didn't. But most of the time it works, and it's a really cool gesture. Now when it comes to settings, let me show you just some of the simple settings iOS 7 comes with. It's not like Android. Android is more customizable. iOS 7 works for everyone. It's not like there's nothing not to like about it. Android, like if you don't like customability, I hate that word, but if you don't like that, then you're not gonna like it. Here we have Siri working great on the iPad Air as well as the iPhone 5s and many other Apple devices. I really think Google Now is a lot better, but you can also use that on the iPad Air if you download the Google app. Really recommend that. Now using the 5-finger gesture again, really cool gesture, you guys should really use it. I recommend it. Now what I don't think is good on the iPad Air is the bezels. I think it's awesome, but maybe they should have implemented some kind of less sensibility on the sides, because since the bezels are so thin, then sometimes when you're trying to just grab the sides of the iPad, you end up drawing or typing or doing something on your page, which is not always the best thing. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a thumbs up down below and subscribe if you liked it, comment if you have any things to say, and peace.